How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Arsenal against Liverpool. And there's a reason why this preview is out so late. I didn't want to record this until tonight's games had finished. Manchester City, Aston Villa were both playing before us. And it was an opportunity for both teams to close the gap and put some pressure on us before we play Liverpool. Oh, don't get too ahead of yourself, please, please, please. Aston Villa, let's start with them. They drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace. They've always got a problem when it comes to playing Crystal Palace. But they get a point, so it's 2 dropped. And then Manchester City at home to Brighton, 1-1. Another 2 points dropped. Now, Man City missed some chances in this game. But my word, did Brighton miss some chances in this game? One of the misses, it was that bad, you actually need to check whether he's got a betting account. Because that was staggering. The worst miss I think I've seen. Like near enough my whole life. That is right up there with one of the worst. But at the end of the day, both of them, they play before us and they're not able to stick the pressure on us by closing the gap. When Manchester City were playing before us a few weeks ago, before we played Everton, before we played Brighton, if you remember, we dropped off top spot, went to second, all the pressure was on us. Everybody talking about how Arsenal were starting to feel that pressure now. Arsenal are going to have to try and show what they're made of. But it looks like they're running out of steam. Because everybody's taking Man City as the Man City of old. This is not the Man City of old. They're a good side. They've got some very good players. But are they the same side that I remember 3 years ago? Nah, they're not that side. And they will drop points. And that's why when we conceded that late goal at Sunderland, and we was all dejected about it, and I was unhappy and everything else, in the cold light of day, you look at it and you think, do you know what? We'll take that. We'll move on. You look at the point at Chelsea, and I know we're all disappointed and everything else, but again, context. On the back of a Bayern Munich game, on the back of the North London derby, you take the point, you move. And I wasn't worried because I knew that Man City were going to drop points. Now, I didn't think that they were going to drop 3, games in a row. 6 points they've effectively dropped now. But this is what happens when the pressure's on. So Man City can talk all they want. They can post all these inspirational quotes behind, pictures of Erling Haaland and everything else. Go and produce on the pitch. Right now. Not the past, because this ain't the same team. So, with us, we'll be sitting there tonight with our feet up, team hotel, and the players should be absolutely buzzing. They should be so ready for this game against Liverpool. I actually think there's less pressure on us than there would have been if Man City win. Because if Man City would have closed the gap to 2 points, then everybody would have been sitting there and saying, well, look, you have to win now. You have to get that lead back to 5 and all the rest of it. And it wasn't even 5. No, it was 6 points, wasn't it? It's just mad. It's 5 at the moment. We beat Liverpool, it's 8. Like, Seriously, it would have gone from 2 to 8 within the space of a week. So I don't think there's added pressure on us. I think this should help us relax a little bit more. Home form is exceptional. Nothing to worry about in that respect. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely insane. Compare that to the atmosphere at the Etihad. Why are they expanding that stadium? They can't even fill it. And people can talk about Arsenal during their worst years towards the, end of Arsene Wenger, and we were struggling and the stadium was empty and we were a shambles of a team. Of course the stadium was empty. Who wanted to go and watch that? It was a mess. But this is Man City. It's the best team in their history. Like, they're challenging for a title. There's no excuses. Anyway, Liverpool. We got the opportunity of what? Going 17 points clear of Liverpool. They're still a dangerous side. They've still got some very good players. And we're going to have to watch what we do. They're not got the likes of Alexander Isak, who's out for the foreseeable with a broken leg. All the talk is that Ekatike is not even in the squad. He's not going to be there, which would be massive because for me, I think he's absolutely superb. I rate him so much. So it'll probably be Gakpo that ends up playing as a striker again, like the Fulham game. But they've got players that can cause us problems, so we have to be mindful. But for us, bar Mascara and Calafiori, who are on the brink of returning, we've got a fully fit squad. Everybody's available. And like I said, everybody should be buzzing right now. Everybody should be wanting to play. We've got a massive opportunity. Massive, massive opportunity. We could go 8 points clear. That's effectively 3 games. We would have to lose 3 games to have that all overturned. Man City, when we play them, they would need another 2 on top of that if they were to beat us, and it makes such a big difference. And the context of that is that so far this season, we've only lost 2 games. 2 games in all competition. Like, that's actually mad when you think about it. We've won every Champions League game. We're still in the Carabao Cup. We're in the semi-finals. We've lost 2 Premier League games. So if we go 8 points clear, we've then got to lose more games than we have throughout the entirety of this season so far. Listen. Whew. Oh, man. It's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? It's feet on the ground, 1 step at a time, 1 game at a time. What we got? 18 more to go. And this is the first one. Liverpool, huge game. Line-up's going to be crucial. So with that said, this is what I think Mikel Arteta will go with. In goal, David Raya. Very simple, very straightforward. Right back, Jurriën Timber. Again, a very, very simple decision. Right centre-back, William Saliba. Again, a very straightforward one. Left centre-back, Gabriel. Again, another straightforward one. Left back, Henkape. Again, very, very straightforward. We've got a lot of games coming up now in different competitions. Portsmouth in the FA Cup. That's a good opportunity for the likes of Miles Lewis-Skelly, Ben White, Kepa. These type of players all will get that opportunity to play. I don't know if Mascara's going to be back by the weekend, but he's not far. And you've also got 2 games against Chelsea coming up in the Carabao Cup. There can be rotation. We're already guaranteed to finish in the top 8 of the Champions League, so there's going to be no knockout rounds, an extra 2 games. I know we've got to win 1 more to finish first, and the bonus of finishing in the top 2 is that all of your games in the knockout rounds that you're in, the second leg will be at home. So that's important, but we've got Inter Milan coming up, but there can be rotation with that. And yeah, kind of focusing on the Premier League, Nottingham Forest and whatnot as well coming up. So yeah, it's going to be a busy month, very, very busy month, but players will get, plenty of minutes. But for this game, that's the back 4, very simple. Sitting in front will be Martin Zubimendi, straightforward. On the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka back into the side. Nice that he could get a rest against Bournemouth. Madueke done really well, but Saka comes back into the side. Next to him, Martin Odegaard, starting to look more like his old self. Consistency as well now. Not just 1 game and then disappears for 2 or 3. It's been about 3 games now. I think he's got a couple of assists and a goal, and let's continue that. Alongside him, Declan Rice. Do I need to say any more? I don't think I do. On the left-hand side, Leandro Trossard. Superb season so far. Loves playing against Liverpool. Loves scoring against Liverpool. He used to love scoring against Liverpool even when he was a Brighton player. This doesn't change. And then up front as the main striker, Victor Gyökeres. I don't see that changing either. A lot of talk about when Gyökeres comes off the pitch and how we're susceptible to more attacks, and I'll go into that in a separate video once we get a few days break and there's the room to do it. Where I'm going to break that down and try and look at the statistics and really see whether there is something in that or whether it's something else. But listen, Mikel Arteta loves him. He can definitely occupy Liverpool's back line, and that will benefit others as well. Straightforward, he starts the game. Very, very simple. So, listen, there we go. That's the lineup. I think that's pretty much predictable. I think that's our strongest lineup right now, and I think that, yeah, I'm happy with that. And like I said, we've got a lot of games coming up where we can utilize our squad. And players like Eza and players like Madueke and Martinelli and Jesus and Lewis-Skelly and Ben White and Kepa and Christian Norgard, and like all of these players can all get opportunities in the games that are coming up. And that just shows the strength in depth that we have right now. When you look at those names I was reeling off there, most of them will be on the bench. Like, it's just mind-blowing the way that we can turn and change things around and the players that we can call upon when needed. So listen, there we go. That is it for the preview and the predicted lineup. It's a big game. I'm looking forward to this one. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that lineup. Do you agree or disagree? And do you agree or disagree on those results tonight? Do they take the pressure off, or do you think it puts a little bit more on us? I don't think it does, to be honest. I think the players should be absolutely buzzing by that, and they could be even more fired up and more ready to go. We'll wait and see. So you know what to do if you haven't already. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you a lot very soon. I'm out of here.